Welcome back, pro wrestling fans. Welcome back, IWC. It's your old buddy, the Guardian of Chaos, Big Daddy, and I tell it like it is. I'll say that to say this, coming to you live to tape 25 feet below the surface of the earth here on Chaos Corner at Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a few weeks, maybe even coming up on close to, well, it's been, I think the last time we were here was December 1st, and we are here today for this date in pro wrestling history on December 18th. Now, if you've gone to the community page, I've put up a lot of messages and news and notes letting you know what the G.O.C has been up to. We're working on a bunch of projects. Things are trending in the right direction, and I can't say this enough. It's great to be back here on Chaos Corner with you, the fans. Here, of course, on Guardian of Chaos, the YouTube channel, we're just about at 1,000 subscribers. 2.5 thousand videos. Coming up on 500,000 total views, all responsible, and I owe it all to you, the fans. And of course, a shout out to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because if he's for us, no one could be against us. Follow me on all social media platforms, and you know what they are. On X, aka Twitter, it's at Big Daddy G.O.C. And the G.O.C stands for the Guardian of Chaos. On Instagram, it's the Guardian of Chaos. On Facebook, there's 2 accounts. That's right, there's 2. Prodigio Fidelis El Guardian and Jay Brony. And just know that I know, and you know that I know, that you're watching. I know you're watching. That's a beautiful thing. We're going to jump off all the other social media platforms to come back here to the YouTube channel. And again, much love and respect for all my fans and followers and friends and family who have been along for this unbelievable ride. So as I said, we have a lot of things going on in the world of pro wrestling. And I made the announcement that going into 2024, there will be a new podcast here on the channel. And it will be about the New York Mets, the New York Metropolitans. You got to believe in the Kings and Queens. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. That's right, fans. As an over 50 years Metropolitan fan, I will be bringing my expertise covering the preseason, exhibition, spring training into the 2024 season. And are we going to sign Yamamoto? Konnichiwa, bitches, from the Chaos-san. Arigato. But we know my main focus is the world of professional wrestling. But if you fans have been following, you know my 2 loves, pro wrestling and baseball. But let's kick back and relax. As I return here after almost 3 weeks for today in pro wrestling history, there's not a lot of news and notes. So this will be a shorter version. And I just want to say during this holiday season, Merry Christmas to everyone out there. Stay safe, situational awareness, keep your family and friends close. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. And keep your eyes and ears and reading materials into the holy book. That'll tell you what's going on in this insane world of 2023 with wars and rumors of wars and the economy and the invasion of this country and politics and all the crap going on in the White House. That's right, I said it. And of course, stay here to be informed with my over 50 years of experience in this industry as a fan, as an insider, as a scout, an agent, a producer, a researcher, a smark, a mark. That's right, I said it, I'm a mark. I said it, I'm proud to say it. And of course, my over 3 decades as a pro wrestling manager who took the fucking bumps. That's right, took the bumps. How many of you people can say that? Traveled all over this country and all over this world for perhaps 50 or 60 different organizations. Broadcasting, hanger of flyers, sweeper of floors, setting up the ring, promoting, selling tickets, doing the play-by-play. That's how you earn your way in this business instead of by being a fraud. And in order to get respect, you have to start with respecting yourself. Once you do that, you open other people's minds to respecting you. Let that sink in. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let that marinate. There's three types of people in this world: those who don't know what happened, those who wonder what happened, and people like the G.O.C that make things happen. With my over 25 years behind the walls, read the bio, read the myth, and you'll understand what the fuck is going on here. And I apologize for cussing. I'm a Christian. I don't mean to cuss. I repent for that. And that's a shoot. I don't need to do that. It just comes out sometimes. Plus, I have to take up some material here for time purposes. So I hope you guys are back to enjoying this. Let me get one more sip of the beverage. We got a little coffee. I just had some unbelievable oatmeal and cinnamon. This steel oats doesn't go any better. You see that I'm in the shape of my life at the big 6-0, hitting the gym, being thankful and blessed for my family and friends, my beautiful wife, my daughters, my granddaughter, my son-in-law, and of course, the Chaos Brigade. Because the chaos is coming. Let that sink in. And you know what I'm talking about. The retro throwback to Michael, Terry, and Buddy Jack, the fabulous Freebirds. And if I could just show you for a second without, we got to keep this rated PG. And of course, the legendary feud of back in the day. And I'll go up against the Von Erich boys. That's right, Kerry, David, Michael, Kevin. So I just wanted you guys to see that. The throwback and the homage that I pay to those who have come before me and those who have paved the way for me. And of course, I think I said of course like 3 times already, Marshall and Ross Von Erich made their AEW debut. And with Kevin Von Erich coming out to put the Iron Claw onto one of the opponents. And that's right, the Iron Claw will be released, I believe, this week in all movie theaters for those on what most say is a tragic story, but turned out to be a blessing in disguise for the Von Erich. So go out and check out the Iron Claw. Another documentary that I've watched and rewatched when it comes to super fans, just being in the business for you fans to check it out and appreciate. And that would be the story of Vlad. That's right, Vlad. The super fan of the WWE and WWF, Vladimir. Boy, was he jacked. I mentioned it here on the station before. Go to the Peacock, the network, and you'll see the unbelievable story of super fan Vlad, a.k.a. Vladimir. It's an unbelievable story about a man who actually sacrificed his life to be at all the shows, to be a super fan, and what the stars gave back to the fans. That's why you guys have to remember that us performers, people that have been in the business, sacrificed our lives, our bodies, whether it be at an independent level or in the major leagues, the mothership in the WWF, and how they give back. It was an inspirational story about a fantastic and amazing human being, Vladimir. So go out and check that out. I can't implore you enough to check out some of these documentaries, whether it be the Iron Claw all the way to the Superfan. It's on the WWE Network. Wait a minute. I said this earlier. We're live, but I am taping this at the same time. Fuck it. You guys get the idea. I say it every time. Let me get back to the Java. I need a little Java. It's early here in the morning. I'll put this up later on in the afternoon. What a storm we had come through here last night. With the deluge of rain and the 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. Trees down everywhere. Electricity out. Schools canceled. Again, stay close to our Lord and Savior. Going into the holiday season. Merry Christmas. Into the new year in 2024. There's a lot of things going on, especially with the government. I don't want to say that too loud. I don't want to get banned here. This is a strictly media personality entertainment channel for you, the fans. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, get us in the algorithm. Go to the community page, email me, inbox me, for crying out loud. And the Maine Coon is never far behind. Emilio, the Savage. This is in honor of you, boy. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. I think the first 10 minutes here of my return opening monologue, as I said, it's a special week, Christmas week. It's a week away, so we'll be doing shows. I'll be here live to tape all week. School is in session for this date today in pro wrestling history, December 18th, 1970. Professor Teru Tanaka defeats, speaking of the Iron Claw, the man who started it all, Fritz von Erich in Houston, Texas, to win the NWA American Heavyweight title, which later would become the World Class Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title, ending Fritz's 8th reign, December 18th, 1970. We fast forward here in the time machine. December 18th, 1975. Giant Baba wins the All Japan Pro Wrestling's 20-man Open Championship Tournament in Tokyo, Japan, with 11 points, beating out second-place finishers Abdullah the Butcher and Dory Funk Jr. He beat each of them by 1 point. December 18th, 1977. NWA World Champion Harley Race, the King Harley Race, but to me, just Harley Race long before the gimmick of the King. He defends against Jerry, speaking of kings, the original King, Jerry the King Lawler. No, not to be confused with the original King Elvis Presley. We can go on together with suspicious minds, and we... too early? I said a hunker burning love. A hunker burning love. No? The singing wrestler on TikTok has nothing on me. That's right, Mancini. The singing wrestler over on TikTok. Check him out. He has nothing on the G.O.C, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get back on. Let's focus chaos. Again, December 18th, 1977, Harley Race defends the NWA World Championship against Jerry the King Lawler in a no disqualification match in the main event at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, before almost 10,000 fans. And that was on a weekly basis down there during the territory days. Race retained the belt after, have mercy, Jimmy the Boogie Woogie Man Valiant interfered, striking Lawler in the head with a glass bottle and then stabbing him in the chest as Lawler was taken away by ambulance to the hospital. Now, just to show you how it was sold and how kayfabe was alive back in the day, the ref stopped the match due to blood. Let that sink in, as everyone's still talking about AEW with Swerve Strickland and then Hangman Page and all the bloodletting and all the bullshit that was involved in that match, whether it was a banger or not, as the kids say. Yeah, a solid bout, a hardcore bout. But it didn't have to go on and be necessary like that, so that's why it takes away from me. Here, the refs stopped it due to blood. Do your history, do your research, do your due diligence. The angle actually was received and reported in the newspaper, and it was covered by the local stations, including the police, who stated the cuts were minor. So kayfabe was alive and well. I still wish it was, with all the jabronis in 2023. No offense, no disrespect. The athletes in today's business are unbelievable athletes. It's a totally different style. It's a totally different era. I have evolved. I'm not an old man, although I am the over 50 demo god, the old man brand. Today's athletes are unbelievable. I still love the business, and I still watch and report it. And you guys know that. I do everything in here on this channel, from pro wrestling book reviews to retro reviews, to watch-alongs, to live reporting on the current product of WWE, AEW, TNA Impact, New Japan, Ring of Honor, MLW, the NWA. The list goes on and on and on. I can go on and on and on all day here. I haven't been back. This is 3 weeks worth of energy. It's me. It's me. It's the G.O.C. All right, fans, on that same card in 1977 at the Mid-South Coliseum, the NWA Southern Tag Team Champions Phil Hickerson and Dennis Condrey defeat Robert Gibson and Norvell Austin. Mr. Wrestling beats Tommy Gilbert. Superstar Bill Dundee and Big Red defeat Gorgeous George Jr. and the Mongolian Stomper. Frankie Lane and Dr. D. David Schultz, along with Sonny King, defeat Afa and Sika, the original Wild Samoans, and Ken Dillinger. Fast forward. December 18th, 1978. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat defeats the Nature Boy, woo! Ric Flair in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, to win the United States title for the second time, ending Flair's second reign with that belt. How about that for useless tidbits and knowledge of pro wrestling history? We fast forward into the time machine here on Chaos Corner. December 18th, 1991. Blue Panther defeats Satanico in a tournament final to become the first CMLL World Middleweight Champion in Acapulco, Mexico. I'll never forget my times down in Mexico City and Acapulco, circa 1985, 1986. No offense to anyone. They nada, man. It's work, baby. Lighten up. 6 months later, Panther vacated the CMLL title to jump to rival AAA promotion. We fast forward here in the time machine. December 18th, 2006. Vladimir Kozlov debuts on Monday Night Raw. He would work for the company until being released in 2011. Talk about useless tidbits and facts of information. Well, there you have it. December 18th, 2008. Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler, along with producer, my old buddy, Mr. Evan Ginsberg. What a true historian, a great gentleman he is, Evan Ginsberg. The movie The Wrestler grossed $47,000 for its first day of screening in New York City for an average of $12,000 over 4 screens at 2 theaters in Manhattan for an independent film about independent pro wrestling. Talk about a coup. Now it's going on to be unbelievable, The Wrestler, a true classic, a cult classic, along with Evan Ginsberg's 350 Days documentary. If you guys aren't watching these or checking out what's going on with Evan Ginsberg, and of course Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler, then you're missing the boat. I don't know what to tell you. A true historian, a true gentleman, as I said, and these wrestling documentaries that he's come out with and been involved with have been pure spectacles, pure history, pure facts. You won't find anything like them out in the pro wrestling scene. Merry Christmas, Evan Ginsberg. December 18th, 2009. TNA backstage interviewer Lauren Brooks announces she would be leaving the company to focus on her 2 golf channels. Everybody duck, watch out for those flying golf balls. How about that for, again, I'm repeating myself, but that's what I do. Useless tidbits and facts of information here on Chaos Corner. December 18th, 2010. Paul Morton, father of Ricky Morton, who was a ref for decades in several territories, especially in the Goulas and Jarrett and Mid-South territories, passes away. That would be December 18th, 2010. We stay in December 18th, 2010 for Ring of Honor's Final Battle pay-per-view at the Manhattan Center in New York City. The All Night Express went over on Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, baby. Colt Cabana over T.J. Perkins. Sarah Del Rey and Serena Deeb defeat Daisy Hayes and the Amazing Kong. Eddie Edwards goes over on Sanjay Dutt. Homicide, the 187 Homicide, formerly under the G.O.C's tutelage, defeats Ring of Honor TV champion Christopher Daniels. We continue with the Ring of Honor pay-per-view Final Battle. Jay and Mark Briscoe, along with Papa Briscoe, rest in peace, Jay, defeat the Kings of Wrestling and Shane Hagadam. Roderick Strong goes over on Davey Richards to retain the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. And El Generico defeats Kevin Steen. Now, I want you to think about the talent. When Ring of Honor was founded, I believe, around 2001, 2002, thereabouts, with everybody from Kerry Silkin to Gabe Sapolsky and so on and so forth, and all the talent through the early and mid-2000s, all the way up to 2010, as we're reporting here for Ring of Honor Final Battle. And now we know that TK and AEW has bought them out, and it's just on the Ring of Honor app. Still some incredible talent, but look at the names that have gone on to superstardom. Colt Cabana, I guess. Boom Boom. Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole. Both in AEW right now, and Adam Cole involved with the storyline with MJF. I wish they would fucking continue, get rid of that. You don't put it on hold because he's injured. That's just my opinion when we talk about current news here in 2023. Serena Deeb, unbelievable grappler. Eddie Edwards in TNA Impact today, one of the best in the world for what he does. Sanjay Dutt, who's currently involved with the Jeff Jarrett crew over there at AEW. Homicide, who's a legend in his own right, one of the legit badasses in this industry. Christopher Daniels, a true legend, appearing recently with AEW and Ring of Honor under the AEW banner. And of course, them boys, the late great Jay Briscoe and currently Mark Briscoe, who's involved in the Continental Classic tournament. Roderick Strong. Roddy! How fucking annoying has that gotten? A lot of people love it. Listen, he's a great athlete. He's a great wrestler. But can we get rid of the screaming and yelling and the neck strong with Taven and Bennett? Again, all unbelievable grapplers. All unbelievable talent. But being wasted in a comedy skit. That's just my opinion. Davey Richards, generational talent. Of course, Kevin Steen, who is now Kevin Owens. Fight, Owens, fight in the WWE. Just think about all the talent that's come out of Ring of Honor. I just like to make it relatable to here in 2023. Because you know the G.O.C. One man, unique, unedited, unscripted, raw dog for you, the fans. That's what you get here. No super chats, no paywalls, no Patreon, no Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, whatever it is that you use. You see that I give it to you raw dog as we come up on a 23 minutes here on this episode for today, this date in pro wrestling history for December 18th here on Chaos Corner. So that's why I'm mixing in a little comedy, a little levity, a little seriousness, along with a work, shoot, kayfabe, because I bring you into my home and show you what I'm all about. We also go on to today in history, December 18th, 1995. So we go forward to go back, and back to go forward, and forward to go back again. The unbelievable ladies grappler, true legend, one legit badass herself, Medusa Michelli, shows up on Monday Nitro during the Monday Night Wars and drops the World Wrestling Federation ladies title into the trash in one of the most infamous moments in pro wrestling history. She was still the champion at the time, but the WWF never bothered to get the title back. How about that? While she showed up on Nitro as Medusa Michelli, and you know her history in the AWA as a women's champion and her feud with Sherry Martel, the sensational Sherry Martel, the late great Sherry Martel. In the WWF, she was Alundra Blaze, but was released. And this is why you never say never, because in 2015, Medusa Michelli, Alundra Blaze, whatever you want to call her, go by her shoot name, was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Let's go forward to go back and back to go forward. December 18th, 1983. The AWA at the International Amphitheater in Chicago, Illinois. Nick Bockwinkel retains the AWA World Heavyweight title over Arriba Tito Santana. On that same card, Hulk Hogan teams up with the legendary Dick the Bruiser. How about that for a tag team? Hogan and Dick the Bruiser, talk about different eras intertwined, and carpenters of the business and who paved the way. What a tag team, as Hogan and Dick the Bruiser beat Ken Patera and Bobby Duncum. Jesse the Body Ventura defeats Baron von Raschke, another user of the claw hold. Bobby the Brain Heenan and Crusher Jerry Blackwell defeat Rick Martel and Spike Huber. Making a special appearance at that time during the territory days, Jerry the King Lawler goes over on Steve Regal. No, not Lord William Steven Regal from the Blue Bloods and the NXT and WCW, WWF fame. One heck of a grappler, one legit badass, as I used that term like 5 times already. Steve Regal from the AWA, who was the World Light Heavyweight Champion at one time for the AWA, and one heck of a grappler in his own right. Let's go forward to go back. December 18th, 2000. The Rock and The Undertaker defeat Edge and Christian to win the WWF Tag Team titles on Monday Night Raw. Let that sink in. Because the reign was short-lived and ended quickly, according to my notes. You know I do my due diligence and my research. As the very next night, Rock and the Taker would lose the titles back to Edge and Christian on a TV taping at SmackDown. Talk about your hot potato. Let's see what else we have here, fans. We have some greetings and salutations to come up. Today, on December 18th, 2023, we'll give some birthday shout-outs. Scissor Me Daddy Ass, Anthony Bowens from The Acclaimed, turns 33 today. Yeah, happy birthday, Bowens. But you can't scissor me, Daddy Ass. And currently, he is 1/3 of the AEW World Trios Championship, along with Max Caster and Mr. Ass himself, Billy Gunn. Boy, this gun looked tremendous. So happy birthday, Bowens. And no, you can't scissor me. And no offense, man. No disrespect. Don't everybody get so sensitive. Also, December 18th, today, Stone Cold Steve Austin turns 59. Happy birthday, Stone Cold. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, stunning Stone Cold Steve Austin. Happy birthday to you. Now, Austin, just to give you a little background, 6-time World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, a 4-time World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion, among other titles from everywhere from World Class to WCW, so on and so forth. But those are the stats that stick out the most. Also, today, December 18th, happy 48th birthday, a little Stratusfaction, to Trish Stratus. 48, she looks like she's 38 and still competing in the WWE. A 7-time WWE Women's Champion. Trish, this goes out for you, and I have your 8x10 on the beach somewhere down here in the headquarters of Chaos Corner. So this goes out to you, Trish. A happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Trish Stratus. Stratusfaction guaranteed. Boom. How about that? Also, today, December 18th, quite a day in celebration today. I hope you guys enjoy your birthdays. The whole fucking show, RVD, that's right, Rob Van Dam, turns 53 today, and he still competes here in 2023 in AEW. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, RVD. Here's another tidbit of information. He's only one of 2 wrestlers in history to hold the WWE, ECW, and TNA World Heavyweight titles. How about that? He was also number 1 in 2002 in the PWI 500, which has turned to shit nowadays. Back then, it really meant something. Also, in 2001 and 2002, RVD was the most popular wrestler in the world. And just recently, 2.5 years ago, 2021, The whole fucking show was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, RVD debuted in 1990. My debut, as you know, was around the same time. 90, 91, we know that. And last wrestled, as I said, this year, 2023 for AEW. Talk about longevity. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, RVD. What else do we have here, fans, for some unbelievable news? You know we always have breaking and historical news here on Chaos Corner. We're just at about 30 minutes. I didn't think I'd even be 15 minutes on today's show, coming back after a few weeks off. Here's another, before we wrap up here, that on Chaos Corner for this date today in pro wrestling history. A true pioneer in the world of pro wrestling. 95 years ago, Sputnik Monroe was born. Let me give you the background on Sputnik Monroe if you don't know. Monroe, who was a great wrestler in his own right, also worked to desegregate wrestling shows in the South. That's right. He refused to perform until patrons, regardless of race, especially blacks, were allowed to sit in any seat in the arena, in particular in Ellis Auditorium. The promoters finally obliged, and over 15,000 fans would fill the Ellis Auditorium and many other arenas down in the Mid-South and the South region, where we know a lot of segregation was still running rampant all those years ago. We were in a much better place in the 60s and 70s with race relations than we are now in 2023. We've gone back. Everything was going smooth with being judged on the content of your character and not the color of your skin, until things changed after the turn of the century, after 2000. From 9/11 to the disgrace of the Obama administration to now the worst president in U.S. history, Joe Biden. It's just giving you my opinion, freedom of speech, if it's still allowed here in 2023. The promoters realizing, and then of course seeing the almighty dollar, they agreed with Sputnik Monroe, a true legend, a true pioneer for what he did for desegregation, especially in the world of pro wrestling. Sputnik's career spanned over 40 years. It's kind of like the Jackie Robinson of pro wrestling. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. Monroe passed November 3rd, 2006 at the age of 77. Rest in peace, Sputnik Monroe, and for all the great work you did for society, especially here in the United States of America. And moving forward from the 40s and 50s into the 60s and the unbelievable times of the 70s and equal rights. I Have a Dream, MLK, so on and so forth. All the shows from Good Times to the Jeffersons to even Archie Bunker and All in the Family. From music, sports, entertainment, to leadership and governorships and police chiefs and mayors. And being judged by the content of your character and not the color of your skin. I'm a product of the 60s and 70s. I lived it, so I know. We were much better off and agreed and got along and recognized and respected each other many years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when everybody was being accused of being whatever you want to call it. And every ethnicity, skin color, race, color, creed, culture, we're all persecuted at one time, point or another. And we came a long way to settle our differences. But now in 2023, and especially these last handful of years, last decade, you'd never know it by the politics and government and what's going on in this world. But that's another story for another time. Reality setting in. So fans, I believe to get off, I don't want to get off on a tangent here. I like to keep this lighthearted, informational, factual. It's great to be back. As I said, I will be here for most of the week, leading into the Christmas holidays season, which I really love. So I can't thank you guys for being here enough. This will be uploaded and go out to all the social media platforms today, later on this afternoon. Much love and respect to you guys, as I've said. I can't appreciate and thank you enough. And as I said earlier in the show, stay close to your family and friends. Stay prayed up. Put on your suit of armor from the Lord. Have faith, no fear, and no matter what happens with the government, with politics, with AI, with the environment, from the planets to the meteors to everything in between, to the floods, the fires, stay in faith. Stay real. Stay true to yourself. Protect your family and friends. And I mean this. This is a shoe. I'll say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Don't you dare miss it.